Let's take a minute here. To say that this has been a year of change is a gross understatement. And so there's been some new press releases about our state rolling back into purple, which is greater restrictions. And church, just as your pastor who has consulted our senior leadership team and is in agreement with our elders, I just need to address what our plans are. So let me begin going back to March. In March, we knew very little about coronavirus. We didn't know how it spread. We didn't know the contagious rate. We just didn't know a bunch of stuff. And we realized that our theological mandate given to us by Jesus is to love God and love others. And I believed our best course of action moving forward at that point was to discontinue in-person on-campus gatherings because that was the best way for us to love people with what we knew. Fast forward 8 months. Can you believe 8 months we've been in the midst of this? And for 7 of those, nobody was on campus. And then we moved to the red tier here in California, which allowed us to start having outdoor gatherings. And then we realized as the weather's beginning to change and the unpredictable nature of rain in the forecast that it was going to be advantageous for us to move inside, of course, socially distanced with mask required because we have seen the need for people to be together. I mean, let's be honest. Solitary confinement is reserved for inmates who are guilty of an indiscretion once already incarcerated. Like we're meant for community. So much I've preached it during this time that we've had in COVID. Well, that takes us to where we are now. So our governor announced that our state and our county, Fresno County, is moving back into the purple zone, which means that would be the discontinuing of inside, in-person, on-campus gatherings. But we've decided that we're going to continue to meet inside. But this is why. It's both a theological conviction and a sociological one. Let me start with the theological conviction. Nothing's changed. Nothing has changed in that Jesus has told us to love God and love others. And now what we know about the contagious nature of COVID, what we can do precaution-wise on campus, and how we have to adapt to a new norm, we believe, the senior leadership team, in agreement with my elders, that it is more advantageous to love people by allowing those who decide to come on campus for us to continue on in our in-person on-campus gatherings. That's the theological arm to this. But there's also a sociological arm. Data continues to come out in spikes in suicide rate and issues with domestic violence, and even as most recently as a November 10th study by Stanford, talking about how we can really flatten the curve, but if we keep from exceeding 25% inside of any sort of gathering with mask on and sanitization, that we are really in no more fear than we have been in the past. And so, based with our theological conviction and what we've ascertained in sociological data, I honestly believe what is best for us, what is best for loving people, what is best for helping people discover and follow Jesus, what is best for Bridge Church to continue to be a church for the Valley, is for us to continue to hold inside on-campus gatherings for those of you who feel comfortable to attend. Now, I get it. There's a lot of you who are not feeling comfortable to come back. That's fine. People are on such a broad scale on the spectrum of their level of comfort, and that's okay. But we feel, and I feel comfortable leading us in this direction because we do have enough information that we can be cautious enough about the steps we're taking for those of you who decide to come on campus. Which is going to be, once you're on campus, you've got a mask on. It's not just about you, it's about the care that we demonstrate for others. That we're going to stay socially distanced, and we're taking some measures to move and rearrange some things in the auditorium to ensure that. But for those of you who are staying home, we get to simulcast live stream. So even though you're apart from the physical gathering, you're still a part of the morning together. And we feel that this is the best of both worlds. And so I just felt, as your pastor, I needed to explain with a very clear why that we're staying open, why theologically, why sociologically, why it matters to this time. Because what we found is COVID's not going anywhere anytime soon. So we can't just be restricted. We've got to learn to adapt. We've got to learn to adapt it to a new normal. And I want to thank you for how well you've adapted for the past 8 months, how you have welcomed continual and constant change. But I know it's my responsibility as your leader and pastor to at least express why we're deciding to do what we're doing. And Jesus said, love God and love others. And so in the climate that we're in, this is how we're going to continue to pursue helping people discover and follow Jesus. So for those of you who feel comfortable, we look forward to hosting you on campus at 10 a.m. Know that you've got to have a mask. Know that there's going to be greater signage and greater precautionary steps in order to ensure your safety. And for those of you who aren't quite comfortable coming back yet, that's fine. I look forward to connecting with you digitally as well. But either way, our mission hasn't changed: to help people discover and follow Jesus.